Well, if we want to walk back and say, yeah, it was highly inappropriate for Donald Trump to ask Mike Pence to throw out the election results and certify his, but I don't think it was illegal for him to propose it, then, I mean, yeah, that's fine. But that's not, you're not, like, meaningfully disagreeing that Donald Trump engaged in a pressure campaign to try and decertify electors, throw out election results, and state himself as the president, even though these 7 swing states didn't vote for him. If the technical, like, disagreement we have is that it was inappropriate of Trump to suggest it, but it wasn't technically illegal, then I mean I'm fine with that concession. I mean I don't even know if this conversation even goes anywhere. You gave me the whole cake. There's so many people in this fucking okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We should be 10 people. God.
2v10.
We should be fashionably late. It's about to be 8:30 in 2 seconds.
Yeah, true.
All right, are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
All right, let's join.
You joining?
What's up, Toy?
Alright.
Yeah, how are you doing?
We're doing, man. We'll wait for your buddy. Oh, what's up, Is it Renyald?
Rinyald. How's it going?
Renyald. What's up, man?
Hanging around.
Alrighty. Sounds good. Well, Bear.
Welcome. This is going to be a nice debate tonight. Let's see. They got 20 minutes on each category. I think it's going to be January 6th, the committee, and the alternate electors. Each one is going to be 20 minutes long. Do not talk over each other. Let's have a cordial. This is not TikTok. You could use whatever language you need. Okay. Y'all ready?
Y'all let me know when you guys are ready, and I'll start the timer. Just 20 minutes, and we'll open it up. When you guys are ready, let me know, and I'll start the timer.
Exactly.
Are we still doing anything for openings, or?
You can do, I don't know,
No,
Truth.
y'all know what y'all gonna talk about. Basically, it's
Just
the whole
delay
January.
delay it for 1 second, guys. Just give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Opening is
Yeah, this
gonna
whole
be
thing
like you guys
is
are talking about the same thing, January 6th.
This
So-
whole thing is
Yeah.
super scuffed. I don't know the topic. I don't know.
Y'all started off the
for,
way
like,
y'all want
I'm
to.
still going for like opening statement stuff, because before, at least in the original message, we was told for like nearly 5 minutes or so for opening statements, and then like a 2v2 style format.
Well, it is gonna be a 2v2 style. You and your partner, and Truth and Gingy. You guys are gonna have 20 minutes. There's not gonna be no in between times because it's only y'all two. It's 2v2. You understand? You know your partner. You're not gonna open up
If
over
we
your
can
partner.
scratch the openings, gentlemen, that would be better. It's just, I mean, you know what we're debating about, man. It's fucking January 6th.
Okay.
Like, we'll just get into it, and we'll just open it up.
If you have anything that any receipts that you want to bring, anything that you want to prove, or anything like that, we will stop the timer and give you 2 minutes to bring up the proof.
All right. Sorry about that.
All right, whenever y'all ready, y'all can start it off.
Okay, what do you guys want to start with?
All right. Well, I mean, you guys are the guests. Who wants
All
to
right,
open
here we
up?
go. Starting time.
Who wants to open up?
So
Here, I'll open up.
Okay.
Just,
Jesus.
this is, how
What the
it's gonna
fuck?
end with you two.
Okay. All right. So what are we starting with?
Is it? Yeah. What's happening?
I don't know what happened there. I think Gingy's mic went out. All right. So is just to get the name yet? Is that pronounced Rinyald?
Yeah, Rinyald. Yep, you got it.
Okay, Rinyald. And I'm probably still gonna. Okay, cool. All right. Who's gonna open up with you guys? Who wants to start?
Renee, would you like to start? Go for it.
Yeah. Do you want me to read off the like a long opening, or do you want me to just throw out a topic?
What is it that you want to start off and talk with? Do you want to start off with Jan 6th, the actual? I heard earlier today you want to talk about stuff that came up to that date.
Yeah, so the main topic that I was interested in talking about is if we believe that Trump and his campaign acted reasonably and illegally surrounding January 6th or the 2020 election. That I was planning on going in the direction of the Capitol riot, and the direction of the certification of the false electors, in the DOJ letter, et cetera, et cetera.
Alternate electors.
Yeah, well, fake alternate electors, yeah.
So, well, I mean, if that's, I don't know why you call them fake. I mean,
Well, there's
right.
a process for
Isn't it like
certification.
really technical term for them are conditional and unconditional alternate electors? Isn't that what the correct terminology for them are?
Yep.
Pretty sure.
I just don't want to go out and just like come out with some like fake type rhetoric, you know.
Yeah. No
Media-
fake news.
Media crap, dude. That we'll just leave it at that. But
Uh-huh.
actually, what do you want to? How do you want to bring it up, man? What do you want to talk about first? Leading up to January 6th. Go ahead. What do you think?
So, do you think it was appropriate for them to suggest to Mike Pence to decertify electors and choose Trump's instead?
Well, I mean, considering that you can't, I mean, Mike Pence doesn't dictate anything, right? His job is clearly just to read them off. So, I mean, I know they said it, but I don't think it mattered. It's not like it could have happened anyways. I mean, he's just a messenger.
Do you think it was inappropriate for John Eastman and Donald Trump to engage in pressure campaigns where they were asking Mike Pence to do the right thing, referring to decertifying electors? Do you think that was appropriate for Donald Trump and John Eastman to do?
Is this an interrogation or a debate?
Yeah, I could
listen,
agree
I don't know
with
where to
you.
start. Okay, I'm asking questions.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Listen, I mean, I'll agree with you. I don't really find it to be appropriate, but was it illegal?
Yes.
How was it illegal?
Because the Electoral Count Act lays out the process by which you submit electors, the process by which electors are certified. Nowhere in there does it says that the vice president can just usurp congressional debate and certify or decertify electors like they were asking Mike Pence to do.
I think we already agreed to the fact that he's just the messenger and that he couldn't do that anyways. I think the question on the floor is you asked, do you think it's right that Trump and Eastman actually came out with their rhetoric and said it? That's where I said I could agree with you that it's inappropriate, but what Trump and Eastman said, is that illegal?
Well, them trying to pressure Mike Pence to do illegal activity would be illegal, yes.
But like I'll say it one more time. Regardless if they asked him to do it, even if on the floor he tried to do it, he could not do it, right? We can agree with that.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's not prescribed in the law, but the argument that I would make is that it's similar to, pressuring somebody to murder somebody. I mean, if you keep saying, hey, you should kill this guy, hey, you should kill this guy, hey, should kill this guy, that's not a legal thing for you to do. If Trump is coming to Mike Pence and saying, hey, you should decertify electors, hey, you should decertify electors, hey, you should decertify electors, that is trying to pressure the vice president to engage in illegal activity.
Sure.
You have proof?
Like I said, and like I said it again, is he cannot actually send the electors back. All he can do is read them out.
I agree, but
right?
I think you're walking off of the important question here of was it appropriate for Donald Trump to pressure was it appropriate for Donald Trump to pressure the vice president to break the law on January 6th to give the election to him?
Right, and I told you that I agree where it wasn't appropriate, but for him to say those words, that's not illegal, because the legal action that Pence can take only is to read the actual certified electors that came in, right? It's still delivered by Wells Fargo, I believe, according to the Constitution.
Well, if we want to walk back and say, yeah, it was highly inappropriate for Donald Trump to ask Mike Pence to throw out the election results and certify his, but I don't think it was illegal for him to propose it, then, I mean, yeah, that's fine. But that's not, you're not, like, meaningfully disagreeing that Donald Trump engaged in a pressure campaign to try and decertify electors, throw out election results, and state himself as the president, even though these 7 swing states didn't vote for him. If the technical, disagreement we have is that it was inappropriate of Trump to suggest it, but it wasn't technically illegal, then I mean I'm fine with that concession. I mean I don't even know if this conversation even goes anywhere. You gave me the whole cake. That's the whole topic.
All right. Well, I mean, honestly, can you show me where's the smoking gun? Where did Donald Trump actually pressure anybody to?
Show me the proof.
We have testimony from.
Can you show me that? Because, I mean, I'll agree with you. I mean, Eastman, Rudy Giuliani, I mean, these people actually, there is proof between emails, memos, text messages, phone calls, but
Mm-hmm.
where do you have anything with Donald Trump?
So at
doing
1 a.m., Trump tweets, "If the vice president, Mike Pence, comes through for us, we will win the presidency. Many states want to decertify the mistakes they made in certifying incorrect and even fraudulent numbers in a process not approved by the state legislators. Mike can send it back." 1 p.m. This is Mike Pence literally pressuring Mike Pence to decertify electors.
Hold on, let's start with the first one. Where in the first tweet does he tell the electors to send in fake electors? I missed that part where you read it.
We're talking. Well, wait, hold on. We're talking about pressuring Mike Pence.
Yeah, talking about a tweet.
If we want
You're
to
talking about a tweet pressuring Mike Pence again with Mike Pence, but now we're moving on to Donald Trump ordering or giving a direct command, or however you want to word it, by telling these legislators or electors to actually place fake electors, right? So where does he give the direct order for these electors to give?
If you're looking for something explicit, like, hey, can you guys please take these fake electors and give them to Mike Pence?
That's the exact extent where you guys come out and say that he's actually the one that told these people to hand out alternate electors. That's the whole case.
Well, no, wait, no, that's not the. Hold on, that's not the case because Trump's not the.
So are you telling me that you're okay with the fact that Donald Trump never told anybody at any time to actually hand out an alternative elector?
Excuse me?
Are you saying?
Are you guys admitting to the fact that Donald Trump at no time told any elector to hand in an alternative elector?
Okay, on December 6th, 2020, Trump and John Eastman called Ronna McDaniel, the chairwoman of the RNC, to help the campaign assemble the electors in the states where they had legal challenges or litigation that was ongoing. In case of any litigation that changed the result of the state, so that it would meet the constitutional requirement of when
McDaniel was called in front of the committee, what was her testimony? Donald Trump called, and what did he do?
What did he do?
He handed the phone to John Eastman, and it was John Eastman that told her or asked her what they could do to help them coordinate alternative electors.
So we're agreeing.
So once again, I ask you, even in her testimony, right? Her testimony, straight from the gift horse's mouth, Donald Trump never told the chairman what to do. It was John Eastman. So again, I ask you, where's the smoking gun that Donald Trump gave the order?
If your entire claim here is that like there's supposed to be some sort of explicit statement coming from Donald Trump himself in order to
implement that would be absolute guilt, sir. That would be the absolute guilt.
First off, if that's what you're looking for, this doesn't make any sense because even still, he was well aware of the things that were happening, right? So this still makes
he was well aware.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, do you have proof of
the fact that he was well aware?
Wait, he handed the phone off to Eastman.
Yeah, exactly.
What if he walked away? I mean, there's allegations, but guys, hold on. Listen, I'm not going to spend an hour here and be your therapist and talk about your feelings on the case. I'm here for the facts. All right, you guys told me the other. Well, I'm sorry, Ronald, not you, but Coy told us in a live the other night that you guys did in fact have the facts, and yet I'm not hearing the facts. I'm hearing allegations of the fact that he could have or he is potentially involved in having knowing, but at the same point you can't give me any factual information that he actually told or directed anybody to hand an alternative elector at any time.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you want to say that, yeah, he was trying to pressure Mike Pence. If you want to say, yeah, he was trying to pressure Mike Pence to decertify electors. He hired John Eastman to be the head of the election challenges. So I mean, that's kind of direct involvement. That he called Ronna McDaniel and then handed the phone off to Eastman. If that's not involvement from Donald Trump, what does involvement from Donald Trump look like other than him saying, "I want to steal the election"? What grounds can we even prove other than
that would be Donald Trump single-handedly telling people to do something that is illegal?
Even though he hired a lawyer,
that would be the whole case.
Even though he hired a lawyer that was advising people to do things that are illegal, he was having meetings with Mike Pence, pressuring him to do things that were illegal. Even though he called the head of the RNC and then handed off the phone to his lawyer, who was advising him on election challenges, and who ended up. No.
Excuse me.
Wait, are we gonna go by?
Yeah, we're gonna go by the testimony.
So you have no audio proof of the phone call at all.
Yeah, gotcha. We have testimony from McDaniel.
So-
I mean,
Well, yeah. Wait, hold on. We have Yeah, we have testimony
again,
under oath with
testimony-
threats of
What
like
happened to
contempt in court.
testimony?
What
Like
happened
what?
to
And the
talking about
testimony
facts.
clearly states. I'm
No,
sorry,
this
guys.
just sounds like he said, she said.
It's not a he said she said.
Under
It's
oath.
he testified. They testified. With like threats of criminal conviction if they do something wrong.
Yeah, but guess what? What happened? Did anything come of it? Of that testimony? Did anything come of that?
Yeah, the disbarment of
Indictment.
Eastman and Giuliani.
No,
And
no,
yeah, an
no.
indictment and then federal cases for conspiracy to defraud the United States. So
Hold
Yeah,
on.
So, yeah,
and
things
then
came
wait,
out of it.
Wait, hold on. Where is it? Where these are all allegations, right? Do you have anything
Yeah.
solid proof? Was he ever convicted of something?
No,
I'm so
because the
sorry. What
Supreme
was the
Court
question
covered
you
it,
just
yeah.
asked me? Wait, hold
You
on.
just
What was
told
the
me that he
question?
had federal
convicted of
cases.
anything.
The question you asked me beforehand was whether or not this
Okay.
went somewhere, and it did go somewhere, and I explained that to you. Now you're asking me for even more.
Sure, allegations happen all the time. Indictments happen all the
keep
time.
moving the
People get
goalposts.
They
accused.
do,
I
yeah.
can-
The jury can indict a
I
ham
can throw
sandwich.
allegations that you fucked your mom
Exactly.
last night.
Okay.
Now, guys, to be honest with you, we do still believe in the
That's probably good.
Constitution, right? Innocent until proven guilty. Isn't that still the way that our land stands?
Yes, but we,
I
we
haven't
as
heard you
people-
guys give any. I haven't heard you guys give anything at all that says that he is guilty. So these are all alleged, and you guys are running off of your feelings because you feel
It's not running off of
that he was guilty, but yet you cannot prove that he did anything of wrongdoing.
Listen, you guys already.
You can say
conceded-
maybe perhaps he had insight, or maybe perhaps he knew what was going on, but you can't present. Just give me something.
So to be
Do you
clear,
want
we've
to
already walked back onto the thing that Donald Trump did hire a lawyer that was pressuring the president to decertify the election results illegally. He hired the lawyer that pressured the vice president to do it, and sat in on meetings with Eastman to pressure Mike Pence to do this, and was poking and prodding at him through Twitter and through this J6 speech. If we already walked back to all of this, but said, oh well, Donald Trump didn't literally come out and say, I want to steal the election, or I want these electors to be sent, even though he hired all of the lawyers that coordinated the sending and handed the phone off to Ronna McDaniel in order to get the electors coordinated. You've already conceded the whole thing, other than like Donald Trump being proven guilty in a court of law. You already proved that the Trump campaign was trying to illegally decertify the election results. I don't even know what we're debating anymore.
Oh, actually, that's definitely not what happened. I mean, these are just your opinions. I'm
No,
asking you to. I'm saying besides the phone call, right?
Wait, you
Besides the
did
phone
concede. You did
Wait,
concede. though.
so throughout the evidence, yeah.
No,
Besides that
never
evidence,
said conceded.
Real quick. You do concede that what Eastman. Real quick. You do concede that what Eastman was pressuring Mike Pence to do is illegal, right?
I will actually tell you that it's not illegal, but it can't happen. So it's
Okay.
not like it could. Like if he did have the ability to do said things, and then they were pressuring him to do that, like that would be illegal.
So what?
But wherefore, like for example, right? For example, like blowing up the moon is illegal. Okay, you cannot have explosives in space.
Mhm.
But meaning you don't have any ability of getting that done. So if I asked you to do that, you would never be able to do it. Therefore, it's not illegal, right?
Okay, but
I haven't done anything illegal.
But
no.
okay.
The point is you're trying to throw out some false narrative by saying just because they said to him, "Hey, throw them back," he literally had no opportunity or chance of doing that.
So I phrased my question very specifically. We agree that Eastman was asking Mike Pence to do something illegal, right?
No.
No,
Okay,
no, they were
okay.
asking him to do something that he can't do.
Which was
How is that illegal?
The Electoral
wait, that would
Count
be
Act.
illegal.
The Electoral
yeah,
Count
exactly.
Act is
That's
how it's
breaking
In
illegal.
order
the
to
act.
be illegal, that means you'd have to break the law. What
The
law
Electoral
has
Count Act.
the
Electoral
Yeah,
Count
the
Act.
Electoral Count Act.
The Electoral
Quite
Count
literally,
Act.
after this proposition being posed to Mike Pence, he immediately went to his head counsel, Greg Jacobs, and we still have his testimony as well, saying that this is very likely illegal, right?
And in the
And now
Eastman
even-
memo, it literally describes how we cannot let the Electoral Count Act follow through as prescribed in law. Like that's literally in the Eastman memo. Did you guys read it?
Can you give me a law? I want you to give me a law or anywhere in the Constitution that says that the vice president, or basically the president of the Senate, can send electors back to the state
Not
under any circumstance or under
It's
any
not
type
there.
of.
That's
okay,
why.
real quick.
That's why Eastman doing this
Yeah.
illegal.
that is not in any law. That's why he was
Thank
trying
you.
to ask him.
There's no law to break.
I don't
and there's
know.
no way for it
Moderator.
to
Can I
be.
finish? Can I finish my response?
Moderator.
Can I finish my response? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
The
go
the
ahead.
Electoral Count
Go ahead.
Act. The Electoral Count Act outlays that in order to object to a certificate, you have to pass it off to Congress, and they have to split into both chambers and debate the objection for about 2 hours, and then come back and then certify or decertify the electors. What Eastman was asking them to do, what Eastman was asking Mike Pence to do is not send it off to Congress and just make the determination unilaterally. That's what's in the Eastman memo.
Yep.
So if Eastman was asking him to buck something that is in the Electoral Count Act, that is asking Mike Pence to break the law.
All right, I would agree with you on the fact if there was a law to be broken, but Pence...
The Electoral Count Act!
It's the Electoral Count Act. Bring up the quote from the Eastman memo real quick so we can...
He does not have the chance or the opportunity to even do what you're saying.
But Eastman is asking Pence to violate
Why does it matter what he tells him to do?
Because Trump was literally pressuring the vice president to break the law in order to instate him as the president.
There's no law to break.
The Electoral Count Act.
There is no law to break.
The Electoral Count Act.
We have here in
and the Electoral Count Act says that you have to go with the electors that are given to you, correct?
Well, no,
it outlines the process by which you object to electors, which Eastman was asking Mike Pence to buck.
Exactly. We have it here for 2. When he gets to Arizona, he announces that he has multiple slates of electors, and so he's going to defer on the decision until after the other states. This would be the first break from the procedure set out in the act. This is verbatim from the memos himself. Like...
So wait, this is the memo that you're trying to bring up?
Yes, the Eastman memo.
Right?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Go down. Wait, scroll down real quick.
This court case right here.
This is not the... scroll down real quick, because the memos that I have here were the privileged and confidential ones. I can send them in chat if you want.
Okay. Under this act, it says this is the role. Stupid. This is the role of the vice president. Okay. Mm-hmm. Vice president's job is limited. His role is to just open and count the votes, not to choose, reject, or send them back. The law is clear. The vice president doesn't have decision-making power over the results.
Yes. Okay.
So yes. Even in your own...
Hold on. Let Truth explain.
Okay.
The job of the vice president doesn't even state that he has the opportunity to do what they're asking him to do.
Okay, Truth. I agree. So why was Eastman saying that he has power outside of the Electoral Count Act?
Maybe he's stupid and doesn't know what the Electoral Count Act is. I don't know, but you're arguing something that Pence could never do.
If you're telling Pence that he has power outside of the power that is prescribed to him through law, what does that do to the law? It breaks it. It breaks that law.
Sure, but if he stood up on the stage and said, "I'm going to do this," everybody would have looked at him and been like, "What?"
But that's why he didn't say it on the.
That's not even within your powers to do. Now, listen, if you did have the powers, the powers to do that, right, under certain circumstances or whatnot, and broke the law by doing it on his own will instead of under what the law states that he can do it, then yes, absolutely, that would be illegal. He would have broke the law. They would have been conspirators to have him to break a law. Okay, but because his job is to count the votes, right, where he cannot reject or send them back. Therefore, he doesn't even have the power or ability to break any law at all.
So we can't agree,
So
though.
even with them asking him to do something, he doesn't have those powers.
We can't agree, though, that Eastman was asking Mike Pence to break that law, though, right?
Hey,
There's no law to break.
Hey,
There's
guys,
no law to
I
break.
apologize. You know what? We're not going to do time. Y'all guys are cooking. Just keep it going, okay?
Okay, we're ready. So yeah, we're literally saying that Eastman was pressuring Mike Pence to, use power that was outside of the power delegated to him through the Electoral Count Act, which would break the Electoral Count Act, obviously, but somehow this doesn't constitute Eastman telling Mike Pence to break the law. I don't know, like, this is mind melting. I don't know, like, there's nothing to even engage here with.
That's fine. That's your opinion. We're all entitled to it. And you know what? For the record, I'll state mine. Eastman asked for Pence to do something that he doesn't have the powers to do in the first place. Mm-hmm. If Pence had the ability to do anything about it, then yes. If it was under certain circumstances, and he went again and just chose to do it on his own will instead of doing it by how it's stated, then yes, he would have broke a law. But his job is to stand up at the chair and read. That's it.
Okay.
He cannot reject. He cannot send anything back. His job is to read.
Okay.
So what they're asking him to do doesn't even exist. You cannot break a law that does not exist.
So if his job is explicitly outlined to only read, right? And Eastman is asking him to do things like either throw out electors or certify something that's incorrect, and you would agree that this would be in violation of the duties adhered to him as president of the Senate. But
No.
Since there's no law that outlines this specifically, it's not illegal.
No, guys, listen. You can try to reword this. You can put whipped cream and a cherry on it all you want. The bottom line is, there's no law to break here. He doesn't have any powers when it comes to doing anything that they asked him to even attempt to break.
Okay.
Therefore, I don't know if we just say that Eastman needs to get educated. Maybe he's stupid. I don't know. But he asked him to do something of which he can't do. Therefore, by saying that they asked him to break any law, the Electoral Count Act, whatever it is, that's just a bullshit argument. He doesn't have the powers to break any law.
So if we can just agree that Eastman was stupid to ask Mike Pence to do that, can we agree that
I'll agree with that. Eastman is stupid to ask him to do something which he cannot do.
Then can we agree that on January 5th, 2021, when Trump tweets the vice president has the power to reject fraudulently chosen electors, that Trump was acting just as stupid and just as undemocratic?
Sure, sometimes Trump does say some stupid stuff. I'll agree with you with that.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's about the only thing we can agree about. Like, but is a tweet, breaking the law?
Okay. So can we? Okay.
Now that we took care of the Mike Pence, let's talk about the alternate electors.
Well, I don't want to move on from this quite yet. Because I don't think that this is consistent. I don't think you're being consistent.
It's a dead horse. Stop eating it.
Can we agree?
All right, go ahead.
It's a dead horse.
Can we agree that
move
if
on.
a lawyer acting under Joe Biden was telling Vice President Harris that she had the right to claim that she won the swing states despite nobody concurring that she did, and she ended up decertifying, and the lawyer was telling Harris to decertify electors in the 2025 election in order for Harris to certify herself as the winner, do you agree that that would be an attack on democracy?
Retard.
And also, why are we just letting this person cut me off like so much? You have added absolutely nothing to the conversation, dog.
Guys, I would say once again, Harris does not have the powers or ability set inside to do such things. So therefore, it would never happen. Listen, I'm not going to keep living this Narnia fucking dream with you guys, okay? Stop eating the dead horse.
It's over.
Step through the closet, all right? So...
Thank you. What a valuable addition to this conversation. Do you agree that it would have been anti-democratic for that to happen?
I do.
Why do you want to keep going on the fact, man? All right, so they asked Pence to do something.
Why do we want to keep going on the fact?
There is no breaking any law. There is no breaking any law.
Can we agree that
they asked him to do something that he cannot do?
Okay, let's go off the law. Can we agree that it's probably anti-democratic to have the vice president choose the results of electors?
What?
That's it. That's his job. He reads them.
Okay, can we agree that it would be anti-democratic for the vice president to choose the certified electors? Can we agree that that would be an anti-democratic thing for the vice president to do?
Unilateral.
I mean, the Republic, right?
Wow.
This is why I wanted to put time on
the silence is stunning. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
We're putting different analogies on the same thing. Dude, I don't care. Put lipstick on a pig, it's still a fucking pig, all right?
Different analogies.
The total end of this day here, all right? You're talking about somebody doing something that they don't have the powers to do in the first place. So it's not that it's illegal or whatnot. His job is to read them.
Completely walking off
and
the
by reading them, he
Trump
certifies them in the
him
House.
to do it. You're completely walking off the culpability of Trump asking
him to do it.
I'm
not walking off, sir. He can ask him to do it all he wants. The point is he can't do it.
Can you ask somebody to murder your friend like 5 times in a row? Is that legal?
Oh my god. How many more fucking times do we have to fucking say it? Like,
you haven't said anything.
Jesus
You've just been
Christ.
calling me retarded.
No matter
you
how
haven't
many
said
fucking
anything.
times you reword the question or reword the scenario.
The beginning of the crash, man.
I mean, it's just, we're going circles here.
Yeah, because you guys
like
won't answer a question. Because you guys won't answer a question.
We have.
Guys, We
Well,
have
he
answered the
has.
question, man.
But it just, you don't like the fucking answer because you're in your fifis.
No, I don't like the answer because you guys are advocating for the death of our democracy. That's why. Because if we went through with what Donald Trump was
hold on
advocating,
now. We're a constitutional republic.
if we went through with what Donald Trump was asking Mike Pence to do, it would be the death of our democratic system,
We're not
and the
a
vice president would
democracy.
choose. Oh wow, good one. The vice president would
do
choose
it,
the
man. I
outcome
don't
of
know
the
where you-
elections.
Oh, yeah, good one.
All right,
Fucking
Renaud.
asshole.
It is
You're
Renaud,
like a
right?
fucking
Renaud, real
retard.
quick.
Yeah.
Renaud, real quick, sir.
Yep.
Let's say Pence stood up on that podium
Mhm.
and he said, Pennsylvania's electors, I'm sending them back to the state.
Mhm.
What would have happened? What
It
would
would
have
have
happened?
violated the Electoral Count Act.
No, it wouldn't have. Because,
Yes, it
oh my
would.
God.
Okay.
No, because
No, wait, no,
everybody
wait.
in
No, it
that
wouldn't.
everybody
Explain
in
why.
that Senate hall, everybody in that Senate hall would have said, "Sir, your job is to read them. Stay within your lane."
Hey, you realize
What-
that
okay,
even
hold on.
Eastman conceded that it's against the Electoral Count Act, right?
Wait,
You're
wait.
arguing
This
for
is also
something that Eastman
explicitly
didn't even-
stated in the memos. Wait, like you understand that this is explicitly stated in the memos. That there would be some sort of uproar from people, and then the proceeding would be to throw it down to the House, which is Republican controlled. This entire thing was laid out. This process was. I'm sorry. Did you read the memos?
No.
There was two states that got questioned, right? One
7.
had 6 senators and 127 Republican House members, and the other one had 7 senators and 100.
Truth, we can't hear you, bud.
We can barely hear.
You're
you.
muffled.
How about now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear me.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So you had 2 states that were contested, right?
7.
No.
No. From the House, no, that actually stood up. There was only 2.
Oh,
that
the
had
legal
objections, yes.
contestants. Yeah, before the
Right,
rioters
right,
broke in.
right.
Yeah.
Right. That's the legal way to do it, right? We can agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
And that's how it went.
Yes. But they were advocating for the vice president to do illegal action. And the
No,
only
they were advocating to do something that's not within his powers. It's not that it would have been illegal, because there has to be a law of which for him to. They never would have been sent back. His job is to read them. That's it.
Is it
That's it.
is
That's
it
all- that's all
illegal
it
for
is.
a president to do something outside of his powers?
It's a horrible
What did
analogy,
he do
man.
outside
What a
his
horrible
powers?
analogy.
you're
This
not-
maps on perfectly. Can you engage with that?
Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna play this Narnia bullshit, guys. We're
Narnia
staying on
bullshit.
topic.
Yeah,
we're
it's
staying on.
whataboutism.
We're staying
That's
on
just
what we're
not
talking.
having
Okay.
It's not
critical
what-
thinking skills.
It's also not a
If-
whataboutism.
We're not gonna
Yes.
keep doing these analogies in order to try to make a point. Okay. The point is
Yeah,
I'm
forget
strong
these
on my
analogies.
feeling regarding it. You're strong on your feeling. Let's move forward. We're beating a dead horse right now. We've literally wasted
Yeah.
about maybe an extra 15,
All
20
right.
minutes talking
Gentlemen,
about something that's
all right, cool,
completely
cool.
nonsense.
Okay. I got it. We've gone for 28 minutes. So, guys, move on to another topic.
Well, can we do?
I'm not
Can
trying
we
to
maybe do?
stop
Can we
this
do like?
part.
Can we do like closing statements on a particular topic?
No.
Sure, we'll give you what, a minute? You need a minute, 2 minutes? What do you want?
Yeah, I'll take a
Is
minute.
there
that's
another
fine.
topic you want to go to?
2
I mean, how
minutes
much
per
time do you
team.
got there, bud?
2 minutes per team, not per person. Is that all right with you, Coy?
That's fine.
All right, just let me know
Oh,
when the
Okay,
timer starts.
cool. 2 minutes per team? Yeah, go ahead right now.
Okay, so obviously, if the Electoral Count Act lays out the process by which you object to certifications, and they were asking Mike Pence to do something that's not laid out in that piece of legislation, it's against the legislation. It's against the law, which was passed by Congress. It violates the law. If it didn't violate the law, then why would John Eastman email Rudy Giuliani to be asked to be put on a pardon list? Why would Eastman openly admit in the Eastman memo that it breaks the Electoral Count Act? These people are arguing for things that Trump's campaign aren't even arguing for themselves.
Nope.
Yeah, Coy.
We can. I don't know. We can look at all the testimony. I mean, everything out here has been outlined pretty severely. I don't even know if you guys have read the actual Eastman memos itself, because not even Eastman disagrees with anything that we're currently putting up right now. So I don't know. Ignorance is bliss. You guys can have your 2
All
minutes.
right, time.
I wouldn't really call it ignorant as bliss. I call it on the fact that there is rules and regulations and people have specific jobs. Mike Pence's job that day was to read the electors. That's it. That's
There's
his
rules and
job.
regulations.
Okay?
They ask
He doesn't
Mike
have
Pence to work
he
outside
doesn't
of
have the
rules and
powers
regulations.
and he doesn't have the means to send anything back.
Okay.
Therefore, if he did try to send it back, it would just be denied because he doesn't stand with that right. I don't believe that there is a law broken because there has to be a law set in order for him to break. Okay, you can't break something that doesn't exist. You throw out there the Electoral Count Act, which is fine, but in the Electoral Count Act, it does actually give the vice president's job specific. Read the electors. That's it. You do not have the powers to send back. You do not have the powers to contest or deny. And that's it.
That's true.
You want to say something, Jen?
And who has that power, Truth? Oh, I know. It's Congress.
Correct.
Yeah,
Congress has the only power to reject
if,
anything.
If Congress were to send it back to the states, then it would have been an issue. But it didn't get sent back to the states. So,
by the way, that's not even true. Congress can't send it back to the states. It goes to a contingent election if the objections are upheld.
Mom, I need fucking meatloaf, fucking Ritalin, crack, cocaine, bullshit. Yeah. You just wasted everybody's time.
Okay. So,
actually not ready.
Okay. Hey, look, I know it's kind of brain there, guys. Is there one more thing, Truth, Nate, freaking no guys down there? Anything you want to talk about? Another 30 minutes, or?
I'd like to move on to the actual January 6th and the riots. Are you guys good with that?
Date?
Yeah, that works.
Sure. Let's say that.
Okay. How about this, gentlemen? I'll do 20 minutes, and if it's doing like before, I will interrupt. I'm just trying to make sure. I'm trying to respect your time too, man. I appreciate you taking the time to debate us tonight, man. Thank you, guys. Go ahead, 20 minutes. Go.
Ready, set, go.
Are we going first? Okay, go, Coy.
I always let the visitors open up. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. I mean, we want to look at the actual riot itself or any of the actions that were committed by Donald Trump and his team during that day. I think it's pretty clear that Donald Trump took advantage of the actual violence that was happening that day. Regardless of whoever was in charge of security that day, Donald Trump at that time had the ability to deploy the National Guard when he knew that things were violent and things were unruly. When people were doing things like chanting, "Hang Mike Pence," for example, there's absolutely, it's like a failure on his part for sitting there for 154 minutes or so, doing absolutely nothing and just watching there. And then random claims of Antifa and all that nonsense. And he doesn't really care about the violence, as we saw. He pardoned people who beat up police. He pardoned people who were convicted of seditious conspiracy. He did. I mean, we can look at the indictments, we can look at the people who've been convicted, and we can look at the people on the pardon list. So, I mean, why is Enrique Tarrio currently a free man? Wait, actually,
currently he's actually
in jail.
He got arrested a couple weeks ago.
Wait, he got arrested again for something completely different. Why is it that Enrique Tarrio, originally after being sentenced to 20 years, was free?
Mind, and then guess what?
No, because
it wasn't for speaking his mind.
Wait. Are we going into open, or are we doing?
I think we're good.
I mean, yeah, sure. If you just let me real quick, I'd just like to say something to Coach Toy. If you would like to know why Enrique is actually was pardoned and released. So when they actually prosecuted him, they went largely against what the committee actually came out and said. And in their findings, they said that between text messages, phone calls, emails, whatnot, just communication. The ultimate plan was for the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys to overtake a CNN headquarters in Washington, D.C., of which they did not do. To overtake the Senate Hall, of which they did not do. To overtake the House, which they did not do. And to overtake the Supreme Court, of which they did not do.
Okay, perfect.
The only other thing that they did was they actually did in fact help coordinate the riots that came on the Capitol, the actual Capitol itself. That was one of 5 things. So of one of 5 things that, and there wasn't even an attempt. It wasn't even an attempt for the other 4.
Wait,
so
quick.
They went to court and they said these are the things that say what?
Can I make a point real quick?
Go on.
Okay.
These are the things on the seditious conspiracy. These were the seditious conspiracy.
I don't think you've read the indictment. On January 3rd, 2021, a member of the MOSD says, the main operating theater should be out front of the House of Representatives. It should be out front of the Capitol building. That's where the vote is taking place and all objections. So we can just ignore the rest of the stages and all that shit and plan operations around the front entrance. They had plans to ignore the rest of the shit that they laid out to focus on the Capitol so they could target more manpower at it. Just read the indictment. I mean, if you want to make a comment about a case, read the indictment. It's super easy.
Do you at least acknowledge that you're incorrect about that?
What?
Hello?
I'm saying those are the cases that they went off on to. That is what those were the conspiracies that they
Because they had to outline.
They accused.
Of course, because they had to outline everything they talked about in their
Was that Proud Boys or
terms.
Proud Boys and Oath Keepers in that?
Like we just said, the Proud Boys outlaid
one's just
through
Proud
in the
Boys.
1776 returns memo that they would occupy all of those
Yeah,
buildings. But then in the
1776,
MOSD group chats, they said it would be more wise to focus on the Capitol because that's where the votes are being certified, and it'd be better to focus the manpower there.
Okay. But under the Sedacious Conspiracy, wasn't it all 5?
No.
That wasn't brought up in the trials?
It can be brought up in the trials. That's not the plan that they had. There's no contradiction.
Okay. All right. I mean, if I didn't read the MLS part, I'll bow down to that.
Yeah.
But I know that during the trials they did.
If anybody wants to, page 14 indictment. It's in the chat.
Yeah, I paused time if you want to look into that,
All right.
I mean, if you want
but
to.
no more than like a minute, 2 minutes.
Sure, it's all right there. I mean, and even if they didn't act on any of these other things, there's so much more evidence to get them for the seditious conspiracy. We could talk about Pizzola and himself breaking in with like explicit intentions to try and obstruct the official proceeding. We had the coordination and time beforehand when it came to the paramilitary gear, when it came to like the vests or the riot shields that they wanted, all within to act on this day.
Oh yeah, one more
So even
thing
if we take-
also. Even if we're conceding that the plan was okay, actually the plan wasn't just to occupy the Capitol, it was also to occupy the Supreme Court and the CNN news headquarters. That doesn't make it better that Donald Trump ended up pardoning Tario. That makes it worse.
Exactly. Why did he pardon these people? Yeah, realistic. Why did he pardon these people?
Okay, are we ready to start the time again?
Sure.
Sorry, Truth, are you reading?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm listening to him. Go ahead.
Yeah, why did he pardon these people?
I mean, I'm not Donald Trump. I mean, I think he wanted to pardon people from January 6th. Just, I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't have an answer for you guys on that one.
Do you think this? Okay, I can get your personal opinion. Do you think that this was a good or like a moral action to do?
I don't know. I mean, it's tough to really show the actual actions. Like even in the court
It's
case,
not. It's okay.
it was tough to show. Okay,
We can even break this down even further for you.
sure.
When we look at
I
the
gave
people,
you guys plenty of time to talk, though, right?
of course.
I think
but right
I think
now,
when you
you're
I think
giving
when
me
you go
such a
down,
bullshit response.
I didn't even finish. I mean, you're cutting me off in the middle.
Go
So
on,
I think
I'm
when you're going for seditious conspiracy,
Mhm.
and were there only 9 people? Were there only 9 people up at the
Truth, I sent you
at
something.
the entrance of the Capitol?
No.
No,
All right,
there's
so those are the people that actually got charged for it, right? So
No, there were more cases than
what
for
about-
seditious conspiracy than just the Proud Boys.
yeah.
no, there was only 9. There was not only
No.
9 total charges were brought up for conspiracy of.
No, all of the people in the
seditious
in the
conspiracy.
Proud Boys indictment, all of the people in the Oath Keepers indictment were all gotten for seditious conspiracy.
Yeah.
You have 9. There's 9 total.
No.
Okay.
That's what I fucking read. Am I wrong?
Yes.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the Oath Keepers indictment, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more in the Tario indictment.
So I had the Oath Keepers then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then you had 15.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think it was
All right.
appropriate
So we'll
for
correct
Trump to
the
pardon
9.
these people?
We'll correct the 9 to 15. Were there 15 people at the? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you would
Yeah,
figure
for-
everybody would be involved.
Okay, but
That's
he-
why. In all honesty, I don't know. I feel like maybe these people were like pinpointed out. I don't think they.
If you wanted to say that he should have pardoned all of the people who didn't engage in seditious conspiracy, that's fine. Trump did pardon the people who engaged in seditious conspiracy, though. Do you think those pardons were appropriate?
He did.
Yeah.
I
And
want
not
to know
everybody got
why.
pardoned either.
You're right. People
Enrique
like
Tarrio
Pizzola got
did.
a sentence commuted. Yeah, he did. But people like Pizzola got a sentence commuted. I'm pretty sure now he's just on he's on parole.
Or Stuart
Yeah, he was
Rhodes?
released the next day. No, Dominic Pizzola, the guy who broke
You know
in
why he
with the riot
got
shield.
pardoned? Because he wasn't actually there on the actual date.
That's not why.
I just need
That
you.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, just read the case. He was literally circulating around a memo, detailing occupying the Capitol in order to stop the certification of the election. Like, there's no more clear. There's no more
great.
clear
It doesn't.
case of
Hold on.
seditious
It doesn't
conspiracy
matter that he
possibly
wasn't
find.
there. Exactly. It doesn't matter that he wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
Yes,
No,
he
not
was
for the-
trying to detail how to occupy the Capitol and sent it around to people who would be in D.C. on January 6th in order to stall the certification of the election. That is
And then
seditious
proceeded
conspiracy.
to conspire with other militant groups to attempt to continuously hinder the certification of the vote.
Sentences, guys, didn't he commute these sentences?
No, he pardoned Tario. He commuted.
He pardoned
Stuart
Tario.
Rhodes. He pardoned Tario though.
And he commuted Pizzola as well. By the way, violent actions, breaking down windows and letting more people in to potentially hurt people in Congress.
Wait.
This is all
The old
public
Peter,
information.
nine members had their sentence commuted, and 5 members.
You're looking
From
at the.
Proud Boys.
You're looking at the Oath Keepers again.
Yeah, Oath Keepers had 9, Proud Boys had 5.
Mm-hmm. Tario was pardoned though.
Commuted.
No.
No, he was no.
Yeah, I mean they were let out of jail, but the charges still stood. They still stand on their record. A pardon means you remove them completely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah,
where he let
that's
these
what a
people
pardon does.
out of jail. That's why I just had to double check on that. I mean, he did let them out of jail,
Do you
but
think that
they
was
still
appropriate?
have
Look
them
up
on their
what
record.
pardons do.
Do you think that was appropriate?
To let them out of jail?
Yeah, there's people who
I don't
attack
know.
police officers.
I don't know. That's
disrupt
not
judicial
That's not my decision to make. I'm not the sitting president.
I'm asking for some normativity from you. Can you tell me what you think like Trump ought to have done? Like, would you
I don't know,
do
man.
this?
There
Would
is
you
no
do this
thinking.
personally?
Yeah, I don't.
It's just facts.
I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know if there's like additional information that he has.
I'm not
I don't
asking
know.
about
I
what
mean,
Trump was
these
thinking. I'm asking about what you
These
think.
people
Do you
help
think it
with
was-
other.
Yeah, you're
These
asking
people
for
help with other
opinions.
things. I mean, I don't
Yes,
really
that's
know.
what I'm asking the
There's a lot of other things that can be involved on whether or not you choose for these people to be pardoned or commuted.
Sure. So
know,
what
I mean,
are
I
all
don't-
these
I don't think we
things
have all
come
the
to a
information.
conclusion for you at the very least? Because for me, this seems like a really easy answer. For these guys who tried to conspire to destroy one of the core institutions of our democracy, our republic, before we get
people.
pedantic,
Yeah.
I don't believe that these people
Really?
should be like
No.
either
9
released or
people
commuted.
decided to
I
destroy them.
And all 9 were commuted.
It's not even. It's yeah, exactly. And even then, we can talk about the other people who aided in this. I don't believe those people should have been pardoned. I think this is a really easy opinion for me to make. I'm not asking for any facts from you. That's why I asked for normativity. So it's like, what do you
Well,
think?
opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
true. In my opinion, murder's wrong, but apparently that has no weight because, it's just an opinion. I mean, like, we can
Well,
make opinions
because
about
there's
clearly bad
actual
things.
laws for murder.
We can make
Yeah, and what are
opinions
these laws
about-
based
Yeah, there's
off of?
also laws against seditious conspiracy!
Yeah, wait, but what are these laws based off of?
Oh, I get all high pitched with my mullet.
Okay, wait,
For
that's
you
great.
to
What are
talk
these
to me
opinions
about
based
high
off of?
pitch, are you kidding me? You
I
literally
know,
pitch
right?
shift your voice.
Well, that's because I'm a cookie.
Oh, that's really funny. So, what's the like?
see,
Why do you? Uh-huh.
I'm
So
a cookie.
why do you
You're arguing
think?
with a cookie.
That's amazing. Why do you think that? Like, what do you think these laws are built off of?
What I told you is when you ask my opinion, I don't know if there's stuff that we don't know about. We can all assume that there could be.
Okay, from the stuff that we
probably
have
is.
currently,
And
okay, let's take the
Alright,
information
so what we
currently
have in front of
or
us,
the
do I
information that
believe-
we have read that you haven't.
Yeah.
What do you think Trump should have done in this
Oh,
scenario?
what you haven't, we haven't. Ooh.
Yes, because you haven't read
I don't
this.
know,
else
man.
you wouldn't be
I'll
making
be-
these idiotic
Guys, I'll be
comments.
honest with you. If I was to make a decision against somebody that tried to organize a full out attack on and cause harm to people, then yeah, I do believe that you need to be punished for it. I think maybe he felt, I don't know, maybe he felt that the time that he did was, I mean, honestly, what did they accomplish? I mean,
The
22
delaying
years.
of the vote.
22 years could have been a long time.
Okay.
You know what's funny, Truth? Is that, they bring up a lot of accusations and a lot of stuff, but they haven't shown.
Yeah.
Tario was convicted.
So, yeah, like, what do you want me to show you? Like him getting sentenced by the judge?
Yeah,
Do you want to look at the
show us.
indictments? Do you want to look at the indictments, or the conviction, the articles that have been put out afterwards?
This one?
That's the indictment, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to see the parts where people are saying hey, he got arrested?
Department of Justice, Proud Boys leader sentenced to 22 years in prison on
You're
seditious
right,
conspiracy. I mean, do you really think that we were lying about that?
22 years. But then you're asking us, why did he get pardoned? Well, guess what? We know for the fact that he wasn't there because they were trying to charge him for being in D.C. or January 6th when he wasn't there.
Do you feel bad? Do you feel bad for dragging Truth down so hard, for adding nothing to this conversation and just taking up his speaking time? Do you feel bad? Because I think you should.
Do you feel bad for acting like a retard constantly?
This is what I meant when I said we were drastically over-prepared. You weren't wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you were so over-prepared when we all know that Enrique Tarrio was not there.
That doesn't matter.
Really know the case. I promise you.
Wait. Hold on. Why is it that Tarrio wasn't there?
Why wasn't he there? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
question.
Because
you haven't read the case. You have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, the reason that he wasn't there is in the case. It's because he was arrested for gun charges 4 days before, or 3 days before, somewhere around there. He was
why are you talking about any of this?
Gun charges.
You don't know. Why are you?
This is the first time I've heard of the gun charges.
Yeah, because you don't read, and that's fine. Don't blame us on that, okay? If you want to know what happened, you can read the 30-page indictment. But you haven't, and yet you have such. Wait, why is it that you thought it'd be appropriate to speak to us about this stuff if you haven't read anything on it?
All right, I'm gonna.
If the charges, gun charges were in there.
Yeah. Okay.
If the gun charges were in there, guess what?
Sure, dude.
They would show up within this search bar.
It's
on
in
the indictment.
It's in the indictment.
Yeah, and I have the fucking indictment right here. And when you do this, guess what? It searches for the particular word that you're looking for, right? And guess what? That word does not show.
Give me 1 second. I'll find the page for you, babe.
Yeah.
Don't call me babe, motherfucker.
Conspiracy related to prison. Henry Enrique Tarrio, 39, Miami, Florida, sent to 22 years, 36 months.
So...
page 7 and 14, January 4th, Tarrio is arrested in Washington, D.C. and charged with destruction of property related to a Black Lives Matter flag and possession of 2 large-capacity magazines. He is ordered to leave Washington from here. Tarrio is removed from all MOSD chats in fear of investigation.
Okay.
Page 7, page 14. Get to reading. Get to reading. Get to reading. Get to reading, bud. Get to reading, bud.
And so then, my question to you once again, which I know I won't get an answer to, why did you think it would be appropriate? Why did you think it? Just give me a moment here.
No gun.
That's amazing. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You got me. My bad. I misspoke. Sorry, I said gun, but I actually meant high-capacity magazines in the lieu of the certification of the election, and so he couldn't return back to Washington. My bad. I misspoke.
You just lied about the gun.
Oh, he lied maliciously.
Yeah.
So here's the last thing then. And I know I'm going to answer this. Why do you think...
I was right.
That's okay. That's great. Why do you think that it would be appropriate to speak to us about this in some sort of formal capacity or manner when you actually haven't read anything on these cases and all you're going off is conjecture? Why do you think it would be appropriate to speak to us about this?
Because guess what?
Didn't quite organize this on the grounds that we had the facts.
That he was not there.
Yeah, that's the only thing you read because all you know is talking points. If you want to comment on a case, read what he's accused of. It's super easy.
Wait, and also, aren't these indictments revised before they get publicly released as well? So it's way easier for people to digest?
It's possible.
Yeah, for the most part. So, moving away from Enrique. When it came down to the actual riots, right? When you look at the actual timeline, Capitol Police asked for help at 134. Mm-hmm. Why didn't Congress call in for the National Guard?
Because it's the president's job to call for the National Guard.
No, it's not.
That's not true.
In Washington, D.C., yes, it absolutely is.
No,
No,
it's the
no, it's
Speaker
not.
of the House and
I want you to,
uh,
if you want to specifically go and look at Article 1, Section 3, under any time that there's an invasion or an insurrection on Capitol premises, that Congress has the right to call in militia.
You said Article 1, Section 3?
Correct.
Chosen 4th year Senate for 2 votes. Vacancies.
Article 1, Section 3. Wait.
This is in Section 8.
8. I'm sorry. 8. Did I say 3? 8.
Yeah.
Section 8.
Okay, so I'm seeing here, Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and exercise to pay the debts and provide to the common defense of the general welfare of the United States, but has all duties to imposts and excise shall be uniform throughout the United States. Then you keep going down here. To provide for calling forth militia to execute the laws of the Union, suppress insurrections, and repel invasions.
So what?
Do you concede it was an insurrection?
This also takes away... no, not this
You
one.
just said it.
This is be underneath invasions.
To suppress insurrections and invasions, correct?
So my assumption is that that's not the same thing as deploying the National Guard. They may have power to deploy.
What's militia? What is every state's militia?
The National Guard. Yeah, good one.
Okay, so we've accomplished now that DC's militia is National Guard. Okay.
So yeah, they may have, and we can even concede they may have the authority to deploy it on Congress.
They absolutely do.
Okay,
they absolutely do.
Why
wasn't it deployed?
Why didn't Trump?
Trump did.
No, his
No, he did
person.
not.
Trump did.
No, he did not. Wait, hold on. Wait, that's amazing. Wait, I love this talking point. Show me any formal request for the National Guard that was deployed for January 6th when it came to the actual riot on the Capitol. I'd love to see it.
Okay, I'll show it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And just, actually, could you repeat what I said back to me, just so I know that you know what you're looking for?
You want to see the documentation that the president actually ordered and wanted to have National Guard present in DC? That's what you're asking me, right?
No,
I'm going to repeat it to you one more time.
Capitol riot, yeah.
For the actual Capitol riot itself, this is really important. Because, okay,
The
this one
actual
was
Capitol
for...
riot itself, right?
Yes, for the riot itself, where it was the request that Trump put in before he had to call off his little cult members at like 4 o'clock, right? Where was the actual request that was put in to deploy the National Guard for the Capitol riots.
Yeah, I want to know.
I cannot read this. This says final memo from the Secretary of Army. Because I know there's one to possibly protect his people.
Well, also, I mean, I'm pretty sure most of the reporting shows that Miller is the one that approved the request for National Guard, not Trump.
Well, yeah, you have to have McCarthy, right? You have to have McCarthy and Miller in order to do it. But right here is the... Is it showing on the screen or no?
No, I don't. Well, wait, hold on.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not there.
And while you're waiting on that, we're at 21 minutes. If you guys want to keep going, is there a certain time limit y'all guys want me to let y'all know? Or
good.
I'm good.
You guys good? Okay, cool. No worries.
I mean, I'm just showing.
I don't like link it. What are you looking at?
Yeah, I was gonna say just put it in the Discord thing, link it.
You're not looking at the screen?
Hey, you see it now?
Can we link it, please?
Why is it not doing it?
Just
It's
okay.
sharing.
Just
Share me the link to the document you're looking
and
at.
actually read it, dumbass.
you just share the link so that we can like zoom in and read and all that nonsense. I don't want to.
Read off of your fucking shaky
I'll tell you
hand.
what. Why is this not showing? It's like the first time shit doesn't want to show. You can't read that, can you?
It's very small. Just like let's copy the link, paste it into the.
It's a saved PDF. Let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on. I'll put it into the chat then. All right.
Let's see if we can find
Now
it
I'm
anywhere.
over here hitting buttons.
Also, if he requested for... Also, why didn't he call off his... While we're waiting for this, why didn't he call off his people as soon as he heard that there's any sort of breach of the Capitol, after he heard that
He
Mike Pence
did.
had to be evacuated? Oh, we called off his people immediately?
Yeah, he did through tweets.
You
Actually,
have
that
access
got...
to the
And
welcome
later
channel, correct?
on, later
yes.
on, there
Oh,
was a video.
later on. Wait, why did it take him so long to release that video? People were... Hold on. Let me just pull up the timeline here, because we have a timeline of everything that happened, obviously. So, what Parler saw, we have the initial first breach here, with Pizzola at around 3 o'clock, right? And so Trump video, January 6th. Let me see when the video got released.
Oh, and real quick, okay. I just read
landslide
it.
election,
So
and everyone knows it, especially the others. I know you're hurt. We
So-
had an election.
okay.
I
that
know
was
about the
stolen
video, I need to know what
from
time
us.
it...
It was a landslide election,
Can we?
I
and
just need
everyone
to-
knows
we-
it,
Can we?
especially
can we
the other
please-
side.
Stop! Stop!
But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace.
Okay.
There's the video.
You had a 238. You had our Capitol Police, law enforcement. They're truly on the side of the country. Stay peaceful. That was a tweet. You had 313. I'm asking everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful. No violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect the law and our great men and women of the blue. Thank you. 422 and a recorded statement, which is probably what we just saw. That you have to go home. And then at 625, these are the things and events that happen when sacred landslides elections are. And then he tells everybody, just remember, go home with love and peace and remember this day forever. So 1, 2, 3, 4 different times from 2:30 to 6:30.
real quick. So
He told people.
the video that the person was playing on their on their phone was released at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
The invasion started at 1, so that's like 3 hours. First of all, the stay peaceful thing are not telling his supporters to be peaceful.
Wait. Let me see here. Invasion. It says the invasion started at. Oh, I guess. All right. Capitol.
Perfect. Okay.
Rioters reached the steps of the Capitol by 1:10.
Yeah, so that video was released at 4:06, I believe. So the fact that we would cite that as a timely call for him to call off his people was
nearly 3 hours late.
a little strange. Sorry, I'm working on fixing my camera. It just went off. Okay, so also a call to stay peaceful for his supporters who are literally breaking in and invading the Capitol is not a call to become peaceful. Second of all, and third of all,
we came out and said that. So at 1:30, right? At 1:30, the Capitol Police were overwhelmed and forced to retreat up the steps of the Capitol. Okay, that's what's recorded. At 1:34, 4 minutes later, okay, that's where you have D.C. Mario Bowser requested via phone call from the Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy to deploy the National Guard. That never happened. Okay, at 1:50, the D.C. Metropolitan Police declared it a riot.
Yeah.
Now at 1:34, the call was already made for National Guard.
Not by Trump.
Now Trump is aware of that, and Trump was informed at 1:34. An hour later, Trump comes out and urges for people to support and for protesters to remain peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
An hour after,
yeah,
correct.
Not be peaceful.
Telling them to remain peaceful.
Wait a minute. Also, wasn't he saying things like Mike Pence?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. So
Yeah,
I think it's particularly interesting. I want to see the rationale here. Do you think it was appropriate for, after people were already in the Capitol, Trump's first correspondence to the people after they had invaded the Capitol grounds to be that Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution, giving the states a chance to certify a corrected set of facts? He said that at 2:24 p.m. Do you think that was appropriate?
I mean, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate? We already went over the fact of what he could and couldn't do. So, I mean, I'll tell you that...
people were looking to hang him, by the way. He tweeted that out. So.
Well...
People looking to hang...
People were looking to hang Mike Pence,
yes,
and he tweeted out that Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what he needed to do to save our Constitution.
They had a gallows out there as well. Didn't they have a noose?
Yeah, they erected a noose outside of the Capitol. Yep.
Trump said to hang him?
No, but while supporters were in the Capitol... while supporters were in the Capitol chanting to hang Mike Pence... Donald Trump sent a tweet out saying that Mike Pence doesn't have the courage to do what is necessary to save our country and our Constitution. Do you think that that's inflaming the crowd at all?
I don't know, man. I don't remember seeing anybody that was.
I know you probably wouldn't.
I can. Sure, we can pull up the videos.
How many were involved in that?
Hold on, we can. Oh, there are many. Hold on, let's see. Also, does it matter the amount?
How many?
Wait, does it matter the amount? The fact that this was happening at all is...
Well, I mean, are you guys talking like there was hundreds of people out there looking for Mike Pence, or are you talking about like maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 jackasses were out there trying to accomplish something? I don't.
Sure, if you want to, you can check my screen.
224.
And we have people here very clearly chanting, "Hang Mike Pence," or "Bring out Pence."
Here that Pence will decide.
Wait, what was the full
do
tweet?
the right thing according to Trump.
The full tweet was that Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution, giving the states a chance to certify a corrected set of facts, not the fraudulent or inaccurate ones they were asked to previously certify. The USA demands truth. That's the full tweet.
At 2:24.
Yes, while people were in the Capitol.
And remember, we have here for the original breaches as well. People had already been inside. We have videos here of these morons, right, jumping in after people like Dominic Pizzola have already bashed through the windows. So they had known that these things... I'm pretty sure Congress had already been adjourned at this point, and Pence is already hiding in a bunker. We have things like Proud Boys, as we just saw here in that stupid-ass fucking MAGA hat, right? We already have Proud Boys and people who are inside here.
Which, by the way, when
so
the
those 15 people.
Well, real quick, when the U.S. Secret Service came in to inform Donald Trump that Pence had been evacuated to a safe location because he was being threatened, Donald Trump replied, "So what?" And also that Mike Pence tweet. By the way,
was that?
The Jack Smith's final report. That was when he was ushered off.
Where did that come from though? Where's the evidential proof that he actually said that? Where
Jack
did that
Smith's
come
final
from?
report, page 39 or 35.
So that's alleged.
38. In the final report,
alleged.
You are, by the everything in indictment.
Who's the testimony? Who's the testimony?
The person who told Trump.
Who did you say?
The person who told Trump. By the way, it's illegal to lie in an indictment. I don't know if you know this. This is testifying.
Does that mean people don't lie? Does that mean people don't lie?
We just brush it off because we don't want to hear it.
Also, wait, hold on. If this was the case that Smith was lying about this in the final report, and Trump has people like staffers who report everything that happens to him, why wouldn't he then go after Smith for this? Why wouldn't he? If Smith is explicitly lying about statements that he made, why is it that he's not coming out for this?
Did Smith resign?
Can you answer that question? He stepped down as special counsel. He still released his reports, and still inside of these indictments, it is illegal to lie.
Yes, he can.
It would be perjury. If I have to answer the question is he can't retaliate against them because
yes, he can.
He's no longer part of the DOJ.
Wait,
it's perjury.
Wait, no, yeah, exactly, it's perjury.
Wait, but hold on. What's perjury?
If Jack Smith knowingly lies in an indictment or a report to the attorney general, that's perjury, or that's under testimony. That's perjury if he's lying. If he lied in those
hold on,
documents,
real
why
quick.
aren't they going after
Underneath
him?
that category, does it? Hold on. Underneath that category, does it mention anything about alleged? Do they allege that he did this?
If you read it, you'd know.
Just real quick, it's because if it says anywhere in there in the Jack Smith at any time, if it says that these charges alleged, then he can say whatever the fuck he wants.
Sure. Also, by the way, so your initial
Yeah,
claim...
even to the grand juror on an indictment, he can say whatever he wants if he throws the words alleged. So,
Yep,
so I'm just going to ask you, does it say
Here's what he
alleged?
said. Here's what he said. 1 minute later, the United States Secret Service was forced to evacuate Mr. Pence to a safe, secure location. When an advisor at the White House learned this, he rushed in to the dining room and informed Mr. Trump, who replied, so what? No alleged. It's a very straightforward claim of fact. If he lied in this report, why aren't they going after him? Why aren't they going after him for perjury?
Renal, come on. You know every prosecutor is going to put the words alleged in every single indictment. I literally
just read the thing to you.
I
read it verbatim to you.
Wait, link him to just link it to him. Just link it to him so he can read it. Just link it.
Page 38.
Also, by the way, once again here, you're talking about only these 15 people. These people, one, are not allowed to be here. I'm not sure why we're even trying to remotely carry water for any of these morons. 2, this is way more than 15. And look at these guys flooding in. Right? Like, you would agree that this is bad shit, right? And we shouldn't be doing this.
No, because
At
that's a
the
state of
very
opinion,
least.
Coy.
Oh, I know. Whenever I ask for it. Actually, this is illegal. This isn't even.
Yeah, we're here
This is by law. You can't do any of this shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, does the president have the power to pardon?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, well, convenient.
So do governors.
Oh, good
They
one.
do
What's your point?
Good point.
for state crimes.
Well, I've been going for 35 minutes, gentlemen. Renault, I know you, or sorry, Ren, I don't know if you got any things to do, man. I just want to let you know what you're doing on time. I mean, you can keep going if you want.
I'm going for as long as everybody else can go.
Yep.
No worries, man. I just want to respect your time. Yeah, it's been like 35. I don't care.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
So anyways, man, I just want to point out that every indictment, all charges are alleged. Even testimonies, everything is alleged. So I'm not saying that it never happened. I'm just saying that when you go to present something in court, just because it's illegal to lie under oath or in an indictment doesn't mean that people don't do it. So this is why, honestly, like when it comes to any of these charges, it's so difficult to dispute a yay or an nay, because you're going off of alleged and you're going off of how you feel involving the actual case. So that's why I like to look at
we're walking off the question, though.
What are the actual facts?
If Jack Smith was lying in the indictment and lying in the final report, where is the perjury charge?
There is no perjury charge on an indictment.
I know.
Yes, there is.
Hold on. That's why every single indictment charges are alleged.
You can't
Absolutely.
put fake. You can't put. So when you read indictments, there's a little thing called the like fact statements or the facts of the case. You can't lie in that. What you're claiming is that Jack Smith is lying when he's asserting facts.
You can lie if you
no,
know.
It's illegal. It's illegal. It's illegal to lie.
In an indictment, sure, because you'll be put into perjury.
If you're making,
did the case go to court?
Did
Jack Smith's case go to court?
If you're making
did that case go to court?
It doesn't matter.
Did the case go to court?
It doesn't matter.
No, it does matter. In order to have perjury, the case has to go to court.
You're wrong.
Because I'm not wrong.
The indictment is under oath, babe.
I know it is. I know it is,
if you're
Dave.
lying under oath, what do you get? If you're lying under oath, what do you get? If you're lying under oath, what do you get? If you're lying under oath, what charge do you get?
So we have here.
How do you prove perjury?
I'm pretty sure.
If Donald Trump, if
No, don't divert away from it. Let's just stay right on topic. How do you prove perjury?
Oh my God, are we actually doing
You do it on stand.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
We're obfuscating. We're obfuscating so hard. We're obfuscating so hard.
Renault, every single time you hear somebody has been convicted or shown perjury, it's when the opposing party, whether it be the prosecution or the defense, They go up and they say, "This is what you said, but here's the facts of what happened. Therefore, what you said is a lie,
Yeah, why aren't
and
they
that
doing
would
that?
be perjury."
Why aren't they doing
Right? Did that happen?
If you're alleging that Jack Smith lied in the final report, that would be perjury. Yes.
No, I'm alleging that everything in Jack Smith's report is alleged, which means that way there everything is. Otherwise, if they could prove an indictment on alleged, if they could prove during an indictment that this said thing is not true, you can get defamation. That's why rule of law 101 is
Prove an
every
indictment.
single indictment introduced is an alleged charge.
Okay, we're talking about the report, though, right? We're talking about the
That's
report that he
the
gave to the
indictment.
Attorney General.
That's the charge.
Those are statements of
Okay,
fact.
I can't argue with bliss and ignorance, man. I just can't argue that.
bliss.
Yeah, I
Listen,
agree.
I
totally
if you don't want to, if you don't want to,
God, if you're gonna
believe
rip
in
off
this
any
fact.
like shitty quotes, at least like cite them properly.
Cool,
This,
Coy.
okay, this makes.
I don't know what you want me to tell you, man.
This makes zero sense. If everything is
No, what makes
this is
zero
alleged,
sense is the
and
fact-
Will Smith
no, what
actually
makes
can
zero sense
possibly
is the
lie,
fact that you
therefore, like
honestly
all of this can be
believe
thrown out.
That just because there's an indictment that it's absolute, that's fucking
No,
ridiculous.
that's
No,
not.
we're not saying
that's
that.
not
We're
my
saying
That
that
is
there's no
absolutely
reason
ridiculous.
to believe that
That's
he's
not my
lying.
case.
Because the law says
No, I'm sorry.
that you
We're saying-
cannot.
We're saying
because
there's
the
no
law
reason
says
to
that you
believe that he's
cannot-
lying.
This makes no sense.
Right, because you don't feel.
No, because
You
there's
don't
been no
feel.
facts. There's
Wait,
been
there's
no
no
facts
proof.
presented other
Okay,
than
hold on.
this.
Whoa. Wait. I can solve this so easily.
There to be any
Yeah, of course.
One at a time.
Wait. Truth. I can solve this so easily for you. One, when we're talking about things like a federal case involving a previous president. One, or when we're now speaking on somebody who just had a immunity ruling. Two, do you think that everything in this case would have been revised? Like, do you think they would make sure that the stuff they're at least saying would be true?
Especially when
Or do you
claiming
think
fact,
just
by the
because
way.
there's a possibility that they can lie, that means that they are? You understand
Then
how
why
us taking
did so many of Jack Smith case fail?
Because you can't
This
be
has-
a
in all
sitting
honesty,
president.
All right,
Wait a minute,
so,
Gingy, hold on. I'm
you
so
agree-
sorry. No, wait. Doc, before we pivot to some stupid shit, I am so sorry that you had to be put into this conversation and just sit here and watch. I know it is so hard for you right now to even try and comprehend a single iota of a statement that we're making. Okay? And that's fine. Just please do not pretend like you know anything that we're currently talking about. That's all.
All right, cool. All right, man.
Yeah. So right now, what we're doing here is the probability
About
game.
them apples.
Oh, this could
That's what
possibility.
it
Oh,
is.
this could probably. You know, he has the ability to lie, so that means we should probably take everything he said. Yeah, of course, he has the ability to do all this nonsense. There's the ability.
Because at this whole entire time,
Yeah.
you guys have been arguing fucking feelings, and truth has been
Right.
arguing
literally
feelings.
Wait, you know
giving
what?
you all
You know
the
what?
We're
Real
facts.
quick,
arguing.
Coy,
We're watching the
real
death of
quick.
reality, by the way, right now.
All right, Coy,
Yeah.
guys, real quick. I'm gonna settle the entire argument, okay? And this is why every indictment has to be written as allegedly, all right? Because if it's not written allegedly, then you absolutely violate people's Fifth and 14th Amendment, where a person cannot be treated as guilty until they have their day in court, which is due process.
Treated
That's
as
why
guilty.
every single indictment ever written, period, is alleged.
Yeah,
Which
they
means
can't be.
nothing is actual fact until it's brought into court.
You're right.
You're arguing something because you feel that what they said is right or is the truth.
That's how you
When
say
in all
that's about every
honesty,
fact.
it never
Because I
saw
feel
its
that it's
day in
true.
court and could never be proven as truth or a fucking lie.
The due process thing? Yeah, you're right. The government can't treat somebody as guilty until he's proven guilty. That doesn't mean that you
That's
can
fine.
lie about factual findings in an indictment. That doesn't mean that the factual
No,
findings
that's why
in an
every
indictment are not
indictment-
reliable. Okay, this is the stupidest fucking thing in the world. And for you to say that, like, oh, you feel that these facts are accurate. Yeah, that's the same thing about every other fucking fact. How can you prove that your eyes are reliable? Okay, like, if we want to get down to what
boy.
constitutes truth, okay, this is not the kind of conversations that we want to be having.
Doesn't matter.
dumb.
Every single indictment has to be written as
Okay, you know what?
as it's unproven.
You're entirely
As it's
right.
unproven,
You know
and it has to be
Listen,
alleged.
You're
Or else you violate
You're
justice
arguing
rights.
feelings, brother.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not
you know what,
arguing
you're correct.
feelings, man. I'm
How about this? How
arguing
about this? How about this?
concept.
Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. How about this? We go
Yeah.
back to the riot. Okay, let's speak about
Because
the
we
riot.
can
Let's speak
go
about,
back to, let's see, the 5th, the 6th,
sure. Let's speak about the
7th,
riot.
and the 8th.
And let's talk about what happened here.
Amendments.
Okay.
You know,
Even with all of this
and that
known, with
pesky
Donald
little
Trump
thing called
knowing that these
Bill of
people
Rights.
were inside here, knowing that the Capitol had already gone on lockdown, we already knew that the people had
And
been
you guys keep
run back up to the
overlooking.
top of the stairs, right? We know that police had started hunkering down Congress members inside of like secret underground areas. Why is it then that Donald Trump decided not to do anything?
I'm just muting
Why?
the pitch shift person
Why
because
do you
they
think
have
that?
nothing interesting
Did.
to offer ever. I'm just muting this
What did he
person.
do?
It's nothing.
He directly ordered for National Guard to come in, right?
No.
Oh, he did. Okay, so for the riots, let's see the formal request. Whenever we look at anything when it comes to the January 6th final commission, or we look at any of the alleged crimes against him, there's absolutely nothing there. Oh, Gingy, once again.
Days prior. No.
Oh, asking days
there were
prior.
going to be a lot
And-
of people there.
And what were the National Guard's people for? Who were they for?
They were to hold peace between the protesters.
No, they were to protect the protesters. Yeah.
And then Nancy
It's the whole
Pelosi.
peace, right? To protect the protesters.
Yeah, not for
Okay,
the Capitol
was this-
Guardsmen, not for
And it's not for the
people.
Capitol Guard. It wasn't for anything. Because people were not expecting.
Her saying,
people-
oh, I should have done something.
All right, listen. I
That's
feel like
not what the.
we're
Okay,
like an hour in. Like, is this conversation even going anywhere? Like are we? Being,
I mean, it's
like,
up
one
to
of
you,
the
man.
persons-
It
one of
hasn't
the
been
people
going
isn't even,
anywhere.
one of the people isn't even contributing anything, and Truth doesn't want to make any moral claims about anything, and doesn't even know how we identify
Because you're
truth.
trying
I don't
to
even know where this
trap
conversation
him
is going anywhere.
into going with your narrative.
Yeah,
That's
by
why.
giving the facts that clearly outline a narrative,
there were
and
no
then you
facts.
guys just want to ignore them. That's fine. Can we do like closing statements or something? Coy, do you want to keep talking? Or
Sure, I'd love
It's
to
up
do
to you,
a
man.
closing
We've been
statement.
gone 45 minutes. It's up to you, brother.
Sure, of course, I'd love to do a closing statement. And then you can hit
I mean,
yours.
I feel like at this point,
Yeah, that's
It just-
amazing.
Well,
That's
actually,
interesting,
guys,
'cause I
Thank
said
you for that.
Gingy.
That's
what
amazing.
you guys
It's a great.
Guys, I'll tell you what, man. I've
done.
let you guys go first. I've let you guys go first several times.
yeah, you should go.
So I'm gonna close it as this. At no point during this entire debate did you guys bring up factual information or proof proving any guilt of any means to the President of the United States regarding that any action that he had did is in fact criminal. All of it has been speculation and feelings on your on your half. By simply presenting any type of factual information, then we could have had a more civil debate. I'm sorry, I don't debate feelings. I find it very difficult to put myself in your shoes. I do make my own opinions. You asked for a lot of moral beliefs in whatabouts and how I feel. I'm a constitutionalist, so I believe that the rule of law is required to be followed. If laws are broken, then I believe that punishments need to be handed out. At no point tonight was a valid law that Donald Trump actually brought to my attention. Therefore, I cannot change my opinion on how I feel anything took place or conspired. I hope that in the future, maybe you guys can bring up some actual facts to bring to the table and have a better debate.
Okay.
And I wish you guys best of luck moving forward. Thank you much.
Can I give a?
Yeah,
Can I give a
and
close?
I'm going to say this.
Okay.
What you just said is one of the
Screw you.
most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah, that's been this whole entire time with you two.
Yeah, sure. Can I give my closer?
No, fuck you.
Like,
Oh, okay, thanks,
come
Gigi.
on, man. I'm not... Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so it's funny that they say that we provided no proof of illegality when we literally have a law outlining the processes by which the electoral votes are certified. Eastman was asking Pence to violate this law and use power that was not allocated to him. Trump was also doing the same when confronted with this. Our two opponents said, oh, well, maybe Eastman's stupid and maybe Trump's stupid. Okay, that's fine. That's a fine concession. That Trump and Eastman were just so stupid that they didn't even have a comprehension of how their election is certified. That's fine. And then when asked for comment on if it's appropriate to pardon the seditious conspirators that try to overturn democracy for you, no comment. I agree. I'm a constitutionalist as well. I think rule of law is super important. That's why pressuring the vice president to use power that isn't allocated to him is probably bad. Hiring a law firm to do illegal activity and trying to pressure the vice president to use power that he doesn't have is probably bad. And pardoning a bunch of seditious conspirators who tried to overturn the results of the election for you, even though you won none of the states that you claim to have won, is probably bad. And then giving them clemency afterwards is probably bad. And then trying to say that we should terminate the Constitution to declare the rightful winner of the 2020 election, probably bad. Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't really agree more. I'm not entirely sure how, when we didn't provide any sort of factual information, this makes no sense, or at any time in this debate, we couldn't find any action that was constituted to be illegal or criminal. Even if I were to somehow grant you that, this still on its face makes no sense, because one, we had a Supreme Court case that said that most of the illegal or criminal actions that he had done have now been provided underneath criminal immunity. So even if we're talking about them, this is still stupid, right? I'm not sure exactly how we're going to only appeal to legality while also somehow defending Donald Trump. I feel like this is oxymoronic. I'm really, really sorry, Truth, in my genuine opinion, that you had a teammate who has not read, I don't even know if he can read, any of the facts of the case, and you just kind of had to listen to some random high-pitched squeaker during any of this. But if you'd like to come back and engage with good faith, that'd be great. But
May your soul burn in hell.
Okay, cool.
Okay, planning on it.
Guys, hey man, I appreciate it coming in to our Discord. I thought it was a great time. I am extremely difficult to debate against. As I laid out, I simply just look for factual information we can go off of. So that's why I deny or basically just keep pressuring to bring that up. But thank you for coming in. I thought we had a nice debate. I know there was some times in there. Gingy does what he does best. So
distract the whole conversation. Yeah, true.
But yeah, so good jobs, guys. I mean, I would debate with either one of you again, anytime.
Yep, just let us know. Have a
Yeah,
good night.
sure.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Somehow it was worse than I could have possibly predicted.
Yeah, I kind of just feel disappointed.
Somehow it was worse than I could have possibly predicted. The one dude was obviously the better of the two, but still had no ability to engage on anything about anything ever.
Any of the metrics? Are you kidding? This makes zero sense. Well, you can't point to me since it's not explicitly outlined here, and this is a part of the vice presidential power. This makes it not illegal. What?
Yeah, I don't. And then the other person was just squealing the whole time. Ended up muting them halfway through. Yeah, the fact that we came there to have a debate on the facts, and that they said oh well,
you brought no facts.
Even though they had no idea, they were trying to make comments about the Enrique Tarrio case when they hadn't even read.
They had no idea about it.
Yeah. I'm extremely hard to debate, guys. Oh yeah, he said that when after you left. He was like, "Listen, I'm extremely hard to debate because I just go based off of facts." And I was like, "Okay."
You're not hard to debate because you go off the facts. You're hard to debate because you're bad faith.
Yeah.
That was actually insane.
And then I got kicked.
Well,
I got kicked too. I don't know if you did.
Same,
too,
yeah, I got kicked. I did. That's what happened.
Yeah, they're probably gonna be,
after they said, "May your soul burn in hell."
Yeah, they're probably gonna be talking about how we're burning in hell and how we're evil people, even though not a single point was pushed back on.
So I think I already know. I'm just not gonna engage with those guys ever again.
I might talk to the truth dude at some point, maybe just because at least he seems like. No, I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
Probably not, dude.
Probably not. Yeah, you're right. My camera went out like halfway through too, which fucking pissed me off. I need to see how much of the recording is